Thank you so much, first grade. That sounded awesome. Each year, we host a Veterans Day program at our school to honor the people that have served in our military. One of the speakers at the program this year is my classmate Elizabeth Bessick. I would like to invite her to the stage to share her reflection with you about the sacrifices made by our military families.
Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Bessick, and I am an 8th grader here at St. James. My experience as a military child has not been the same as kids whose parents are on active duty because my dad transitioned into the Army Reserves when I was 4 years old. Unlike most military kids, I am fortunate that I've been able to attend St. James since 4-year-old preschool. This has given me the opportunity to make lifelong friends, and for that I am so grateful. As good as it's been, there have certainly been ups and downs considering this aspect of my life. For example, I was baptized very early so that my dad could be there before he had to go to Afghanistan. Obviously, I don't remember any of this, but this means that my dad missed the first 15 months of my life. I lived in Kentucky for a little while, though the clearest memories of my early childhood come from Kansas, where my sister was born. Eventually, we ended up coming back to Kentucky, and I've been here ever since. Just because my dad was no longer on active duty didn't mean that challenges stopped. My dad had to miss a lot of weekends because that's often when he had to work. I probably sound like I'm exaggerating a little, as I know that other kids whose parents are on active duty have to deal with much harder circumstances. He had to leave a lot for different work trips, like when he went to Colorado and was gone for 3 months. These frequent reservist trips often felt tedious at times, and left me and everyone else stressed and worried. Now though, my dad has taken on an active duty job in Indianapolis. Only problem, we live here in Kentucky. He had to rent an apartment in Indianapolis so that he can get to work every day. Rather than moving our whole family to Indiana, he chose to make the sacrifice so that we could all comfortably stay put. He comes and visits us on weekends, which is nice, but we don't get to see him much throughout the week, except maybe for unexpected occasions. This makes school life a lot harder with only one parent to manage kids. For example, there was one time when I needed serious help on some homework, so we called my dad and had him explain it to me over the phone because he wasn't physically there to ask for assistance. My mom has to take us all over the place, and that means dragging all 4 of us kids around. It's grueling at times, and we can all be left on edge because we feel that things are harder as we're barely getting through by the skin on our necks. Sometimes help can be hard to come by, as all of our extended family lives far away. We often rely on our close friends, which has been a huge support, and we're very thankful to have them. We found community here, and that's allowed us to form close bonds and ties with people that have become a vital part of our lives. The experience that I've gathered from being a military child is that periods of your life are going to be more difficult than others, as is true for everyone in the world. Despite this, though, being apart from my dad has made the time we spend with him so much more fulfilling. Being able to have family movie night on Friday with him is special. This time that we get is something to cherish and hold on to. The military has just sort of seeped into my life. It's always been a part of who I am and what my life looks like. These experiences have shaped me in a way because this is what I've grown up with and what I'm used to. One of the constant things my family has told me is that we'll work something out. That phrase is a reassurance, a knowledge that no matter what happens, we've got each other and we'll find a way to work around the problem. On holidays and birthdays, my dad is always there. He always finds a way to make it work, and that's something I really appreciate. The challenges are nonstop. When my dad took this job in Indianapolis, everyone was really struggling with the apprehension. We didn't know what was going to happen or how we were going to make it work or even how it would be possible. Even now, with this being my last year at St. James, we're trying to decide on a high school. And because we don't know what comes after this job in Indianapolis, I don't know if some of these places I'm aspiring to go will even be a possibility. My parents have told me, though, that we'll find a way and we'll make it work. That's something I hold on to. In conclusion, I would say that my experience as a military child has been hard at times, but ultimately has given me the chance to see the world in a way that others may have not. I would like to thank all of the veterans here today for their service, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for your willingness to share what it means to be part of a military family, as well as how it has impacted your life. You did a great job. Ms. Lawmeyer, one of our middle school support staff, has introduced a couple of new enrichment programs this year. We have some students who are going to tell you about these new initiatives. First, I would like to ask Abby, Sarah, Annabeth, Elizabeth, Jonah, McKenna, and Anna to join me on stage. They are going to tell you about the National History Day group.
Hello, fellow 8th grade students and guests. We are the NHD group.
Studying the past to inform the present and shape the future. That is the mission of National History Day, an enrichment program at St. James.
National History Day's core program is its competitions in which students choose a topic and dive deeply into the past by conducting extensive research in libraries, archives, and museums.
Then we present our conclusions and evidence through papers, exhibits, performances, documentaries, or websites, moving through a series of contest levels where we are evaluated by professional historians and educators.
Through this process, we develop skills in communication, project management, and historical thinking.
This year's theme is Rights and Responsibilities. While we are still in the process of researching and developing our topics, here are our current thesis statements.
Title IX. Title IX is a law that was set in place on June 23, 1972 by many people such as Patsy T. Mink, whose initial goal was to gain the right to participate in activities, sports, and other programs with federal funding from the U.S. Department of Education, regardless of gender or race.
Once passed, it was expected that the U.S. Department of Education should uphold their responsibility of providing equal opportunities. Despite this, Title IX is still under attack.
Radium girls. From 1917 through 1920, many women died in factories all over the world from radium poisoning, with some of the biggest cases taking place in New Jersey, Connecticut, and Illinois. However, through this tragic event, we now have policies to protect the rights of factory workers and ensure that employers responsibly provide a safe work environment.
Wounded Knee. On December 29, 1890, several Lakota Sioux were massacred by U.S. troops near the banks of Wounded Knee Creek in South Dakota, following the rise of the ghost dance religion, which the natives felt was their right to protect. While the U.S. government sought to marginalize Native tribes and solidify federal control over reservations, these actions eventually led to many people who felt responsibility to fight against racism and policies that hurt Native Americans. Using tactics similar to the Civil Rights Movement, the American Indian Movement won several victories, including the American Indian Religious Freedom Act and the Indian Self-Determination and Education Assistance Act.
Atomic bomb. On August 6, 1945, an American B-29 bomber dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan, in the hopes of reducing the loss of American lives by forcing a surrender of the Japanese and bringing World War II to an end. The use of this weapon raised many questions about the rights and responsibilities of the United States, to include human rights and the responsibility of providing medical care and compensation to victims.
Banned Books Week. In 1982, activist Judith Krug protested for the right of free speech by founding Banned Books Week, which is now celebrated by millions.
In the following 41 years, the public continues to recognize the responsibilities that come with the freedom over what they can read and write. While we may only be 8th graders with most of our lives ahead of us, we understand the importance of history. In the words of Machiavelli, whoever wishes to foresee the future must consult the past, for human events ever resemble those of preceding times. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing what you are working on. What an interesting project. I'm lucky enough to be part of the other enrichment program, the Stock Market Gang. My classmates are going to join me so we can tell you all about what we have learned through investing in the stock market. Please join me in welcoming Annabeth, Joseph, Jacob, and Riker.
This online program is a simulation of the global capital markets that engage us in the world of economics, investing, personal finance, and prepares us for financially independent futures. Working in small groups, we began with $100,000 in our portfolio. First, we had to learn the difference between products, brands, companies, and corporations. We've learned to look up ticker symbols for our stocks, how to build a diversified portfolio, and conduct research to include understanding PE ratio and beta. Some of us are a bit more risky in our investments.
Our group is excited to report that our investment in Tesla has had a growth increase of 5.625%, making us over $900.
However, we've had hope in Apple, but recently it has gone down.
Even with the ups and downs of our investments, we've made it over $1,000 in the past 2 months.
We've been fortunate enough to have Mr. Ditto from Ditto Wealth Management provide us with advice on investments.
Even though Flipkart, the Indian version of Walmart, is a private company and we couldn't invest in it, we did take his advice on pure cycle technology, and we're glad, as it is up 7.8 since our investment. In conclusion, Ralph Sagar is credited with saying, "An investor without an investment objectives is like a traveler without a destination." However, we have a destination. We want to be financially independent, and thanks to the stock market game, we are on our way. Thank you.
All of my classmates did a great job in explaining their enrichment projects. Both groups have really enjoyed working on their respective projects and learned so much along the way. Now, to recognize a couple of students who worked hard on an art project earlier in the year. Both 8th grader Clara Groh and 5th grader Isabella Davis placed first for their grade level in the 2024 Season of Creation Poster Contest. Our art teacher, Mrs. Barnett, created an assignment for all of the classes that met the criteria for the contest. She then submitted some of the projects to the Archdiocese of Louisville's Creation Care team for judging. Mrs. Barnett never dreamed that our school would have 2 first-place winners from her submissions. We worked hard in all of our classes each day to do the best we can, and having Clara and Isabella recognized for their talent is very exciting for our school. Clara and Isabella, will you please stand? Join me in congratulating them for both their accomplishments. Their winning artwork is on display, so be sure to take a look at it before you leave this morning. At this time, I would like to invite Kate Jarbo to the stage. Kate is a 2023 alumnus of SJS and now attends Assumption High School. She was a fellow student ambassador when she attended St. James and was awarded the first ever Sister Michael Marie Friedman Award upon graduating St. James. Kate has a few words to share with you about how St. James impacted her while she was a student here and even now since graduation.
Good morning. My name is Kate Jarbo, and I am a proud 2023 SJS alum. Thank you to St. James faculty for the invitation and incredible honor of speaking with you today. Before I tell you a little bit about my own journey, I'd like to share a few concepts to set the stage. According to the National Institute for Health, children come into the world eager to learn. Their early years are a time of enormous growth of linguistic, conceptual, social, emotional, and motor competence. One of the key factors cited for this growth is responsive interpersonal relationships with teachers who nurture young children's dispositions to learn and their emerging abilities. Additionally, early learning literature also points out that children are not born with a set of values, ethics, and morals. It is something that is learned from their parents and community. Values like compassion, self-esteem, honesty, responsibility, judgment, and acceptance of diversity all start at an early age and lay the foundation for children to grow into well-balanced adults. In other words, the right environment matters. The right environment can pave the way to a brighter future. That is what St. James Catholic School does for its students. I attended kindergarten through 8th grade along with my big brother Nate, who is now a junior at U of L, majoring in biology on a pre-med track. Back when he was a student at St. James, he started the Give a Day for Hunger initiative after being involved in multiple community outreach projects through St. James, and it became the most successful event in feeding America of the Heartland / United Way history at the time, even earning him a Governor's Youth Volunteerism Award. He is now president-elect of the U of L chapter of Sigma Chi, has been their service chair for the past 3 years, and is on the Raise Red staff to combat childhood cancer. This is just one example of how values instilled at a young age can shape a life. And St. James has a rich history of alumni going on to be pillars of the community, like Joe Prather and Deacon Bill Clark. On my own journey, SJS provided me with a strong moral, spiritual, and academic foundation. One example is the opportunity I was provided to challenge myself with more advanced math courses, which gave me an advantage going into high school and taking higher level coursework. I plan to take AP Calculus BC next year as a junior. And thanks to some hard work and the great study habits formed while at St. James, I have maintained an A+ average in all honors courses to date, including scoring a 5 on my first college AP exam last year as a freshman. The opportunity St. James provides me to continue to this day, including youth group activities and confirmation preparation with the St. James Discipleship Group. I would not be the person I am or have been able to accomplish what I have today without the dedicated teachers, welcoming school environment, targeted curriculum, and overwhelming support and kindness that St. James always provides to its students, both current and past. This solid foundation helped me to develop core values and character that will stay with me for the rest of my life. The St. James teachers provided a platform to build upon as I entered my next stage of education, high school. Choosing a high school is an extremely important decision. After multiple shadowing, open house, and summer camp experiences at many schools, I chose Assumption High School and have been so happy with that choice ever since. Not only did they have opportunities for me to take advanced mathematics courses from day one, but it was also a continuation of the culture that I love so much at St. James. I chose Assumption High School because they afforded me more opportunities for advanced placement or dual credit classes than any other high school I shadowed. They also provided opportunities for engagement in over 65 clubs and student organizations and 15 varsity sports. I hold leadership roles in a large number of those groups. For example, I am captain of the JV Quick Recall team, a member of the Speech and Debate team, Future Physicians of America, St. Joseph of Arimathea Society, Church and School Choirs, Kentucky Youth Assembly, Kentucky United Nations Assembly, Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society, Advanced Council, and countless other environmental and service organizations. Additionally, I am a 2-sport varsity athlete. There is a club or sport for anyone of all interests or abilities. Besides placing in state and national academic competitions, I have also earned many honors, starting with becoming a Macaulay Scholar based upon my high school placement test scores, which placed me in the top 5 of my class, a direct reflection on my preparation at St. James. Since then, I've been honored to be chosen as a Mary Byron Scholar, a Land's End National Scholarship recipient, and most recently as a representative for Assumption in the Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Program. Last summer, I even had the opportunity to travel with my school to Greece and Italy, where I climbed ancient ruins in Athens, participated in gladiator training in Rome, and bonded with classmates and teachers. This coming summer, I'm excited to travel to England and Ireland, where I look forward to learning more about the home of the Sisters of Mercy who founded our school. One of my most valuable experiences actually began while I was still a student at St. James, when I founded the first Boy Scouts of America Girls Patrol in my area and culminated as a high school freshman when I earned the rank of Triple Silver Palm Eagle Scout in February of this year. My Eagle Scout project was completed for the veterans organization Active Heroes, with the goal of providing spaces and programs for our service members, especially those just returned from active duty. For my Eagle project, with the help of many incredible people, I digitally mapped 3 trails on the Active Heroes premises, planned for, cleared, and widened one of those trails to make it more accessible, placed landscaping paper and mulch to entrance and exit of the trail, fundraised for and installed a fully recyclable 6-sided bench with an accompanying plaques representing the 6 branches of the military, hosted an unveiling event with presentations about the project, served a complimentary dinner for over 80 people to honor our military on Fort Chaplain's Day, and led a flag retirement ceremony. This took hundreds of hours of confined effort to make this possible, and I'm so proud of myself and the amazing people around me that helped me get there. I became the first junior board member and youth advocate for the nonprofit group. I then led a Lead for Change project as a first-year student at Assumption High School, where I learned to write grant proposals and secured an additional $4,000, which was donated to further support Active Heroes programs. Knowing that I'm capable of something as big as this project and reaching the rank of Eagle Scout, I know I can take on anything I set my mind to in the future. Those seeds were first planted as a young child, participating in service projects and community outreach throughout my time at St. James. As an Eagle Scout, I was given the opportunity to present special mentor pins to those who made a significant impact on me, including 2 of my former St. James teachers, Mrs. Wheatley and Mrs. Sophie. St. James teachers continue to support and cheer on past students long after graduating, as these 2 amazing teachers and more have done for me. Finally, after high school, I plan to attend the University of Louisville Speed School of Engineering to pursue an undergraduate degree in biomedical engineering prior to attending medical school. My goal is to someday find ways to biomedically engineer tissues and organs for emergency applications, especially for those on transplant lists and even 3D printing of life-saving tissues at accident sites. I want to combine my love for math and science with my desire to help people. In closing, I'm extremely grateful for the strong foundation of a St. James school education, which I will continue to build upon throughout my high school career at Assumption and beyond. Don't forget that the high school placement test is coming up on December 14th. So please encourage any 8th graders thinking of a Catholic education to consider taking that test at the school of their choice. Thank you.
Thank you so much for visiting with us today. It's great to hear how you're excelling in high school. Your words were also helpful to me and my fellow classmates as we prepare for life after middle school. Now, I want to invite 2 of our 5th grade students to tell you about the Saint project that they recently completed during their religion class with Mrs. Workman. Please welcome Cooper Montgomery and Claire Cohen.
Good morning. In observance of All Saints' Day, our 5th grade class was asked to choose, research, and write about a saint. Our teacher provided several websites where we could look for information on the saints. Some of us chose a saint based on their feast day, some of us chose a saint based on their name, some of us chose a saint based on their patronage. We researched our saints in resource materials, books about their life, and on approved websites, such as Catholic.org and LoyolaPress.com. The objective of our research was to discover more about the saint's life and to realize that the saints were people just like us. Our teacher said we can all be saints one day, and that we should all strive to do so. After the writing was complete, we painted our Saint Peg dolls. You will see them on your tables. We sketched our ideas on paper first, and then sketched and painted on the wooden dolls to bring our ideas to life. The dolls will remain in our classroom for the remainder of the year, and we are even hoping that maybe Father will come in and bless them. On the last day of school, each student will take their peg doll home. This was a challenging but fun activity that taught us so much about the lives of the saints and how to research, write, and cite our sources in an essay. Now I'd like to introduce Claire Cohen, who will read her saint essay for you.
Do you know who the patron saint of soldiers and of France is? Well, the patron saint of soldiers in France is Saint Joan of Arc. She was born in 1412 and died in 1431. She grew up with very holy parents. She started to believe in God at the age of 13. After she became very holy like her parents, she wanted to become a soldier. She thought that she could be a soldier because she would help her family do farming and stuff in the garden. And she was right because she was very strong. When Joan finally became a soldier, she did not want to fight alone, so she went to the king to ask for some soldiers to fight with her. The king said yes because she was very brave and strong. So the week after she got the soldiers, she went to go fight the British army. So after a long fight, they made them go away, but she fell into the wrong hands and got taken by the British army. Joan was stuck in prison for 9 months. When she was in prison, she kept asking herself why she went to confession every day because her soul could never be too clean. Saint Joan kept asking God to save her. After that night, she got taken to be burned alive. Through the flames, you could hear her calling out, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus." Then she died. She only lived to be 19 years old. I hope you learned a lot of things about St. Joan of Arc. She was a very brave person. I hope you like hearing about her, and I hope you become a saint too.
Thank you for sharing this fun project with us.
Be sure to check out the peg dolls our 5th graders created depicting their saints. They are displayed on your tables. A new extracurricular offering for our middle school students this year is Drama Club. My friends have been having a lot of fun working on their play, Big Bad, directed by Mrs. Wheatley and Mrs. Kirchner. The class has been rehearsing for weeks and the students have all been working really hard. Their first performance is scheduled for Thursday night, but we have talked them into sharing a scene with you this morning. Big Bad is about the big bad wolf that goes on trial for all the different things he's been accused of doing throughout different fairy tales and stories. They will be sharing a scene from the middle of the play. Let me set the scene for you. Imagine, the trial is underway and each of the different characters are arriving. Red Riding Hood, played by Maggie Cohen, Granny, played by Lily Dixon, Fairy Godmother, played by Elizabeth Bessick, and news reporter Sydney Grimm, played by Clara Groh. I'll let them take it from here.
Hello, this is Sydney Grimm for AFN, Enchanted Forest News, reporting live from the scene of what is to be sure the trial of the century. In Metro Remnants, we're about to witness what is quite possibly the most impressive clash of legal minds this court or this country have seen since once upon a time. After years of learning, we have finally about to witness the trial of the big bad wolf. As many of you know already, Mr. Wolf, the defendant, escaped a jail sentence when his criminal trial with 3 accounts of huffing and puffing with an intent to destroy, 2 accounts of attempted murder and ingestion, 1 account of attempted grandmother impersonation, 4 accounts of attempted sheep abduction, and 17 counts of working ended in a mistrial. The result of a giant falling on the jury while they're determining the verdict. Now, a number of parties have brought a class action lawsuit against Mr. Wolf in an attempt to obtain some monetary compensation for what they feel has been an infringement on their rights by the now infamous defendant. It seems the Council for Plaintiffs, the unequaled Miss Fairy Godmother, has entered, accompanied by 2 of her clients, Little Miss Red Riding Hood and the young client's grandmother, Miss Grandmother. Miss Fairy Godmother, anyone's for EFN?
Mr. Wolf is a depraved, cold, calculating killer, and it is only his celebrity status and his force that has saved him from the hands of criminal justice. His behavior is reprehensible and has completely infringed upon my client's right to live happily ever after. As you know, I have always fought to ensure that the good people of this force get the ending they deserve.
Yeah, that wolf is gonna get it. We're gonna string him by his toes and shake so all this money goes right here. And then me and Granny are gonna get ourselves a nice new condo with pool and
Now, sit down, dear. That isn't appropriate behavior for television, and we don't want to waste anyone's time. You know that grandmother's flirts all turn to mice after midnight tonight.
Yeah, that's lame. You stink.
What a great job. A big thank you to the Big Bad production team and directors Miss Wheatley and Miss Kirchner. You guys were fantastic. They will present the full production on Thursday night at 7 p.m. You are more than welcome to come if you would like to see how things turn out. One of the highlights of the breakfast each year is the number of SJS alums who attend. We have several joining us today. If you are a St. James alum, will you please stand for a moment so we can recognize you? There is one of these alums who is extra special to me, my grandfather, Tom Clark. He has just been named the recipient of the Senator Joe Prather Distinguished Alumni Award. The presentation will take place at Black and White Night in February. Congratulations, Pop. As a part of the 8th grade class, I am very honored to join these individuals as an alum in a few months upon my graduation. We are going to hear from one of our alums today. Please join me in welcoming Whitney Ballou. She is a 2004 graduate of St. James Catholic School, where she attended from kindergarten through 8th grade. She then attended Central Hardin High School and Western Kentucky University, where she majored in biology, chemistry, and leadership studies. She was a member of the inaugural class of WKU Doctorate of Physical Therapy program, which she graduated from in 2016. She was happy to move back home to E-Town after being gone for 8 years so that she was able to spend more time with her large Catholic family residing in Hardin County. She accepted a job with Physical Therapy Associates and has practiced in the same outpatient clinic for the last 8.5 years, with 4 of those in the clinic manager role. Whitney and her husband Darren are the proud parents of 2 children, Reese and Rylan, who both attend St. James as a first grader and a preschooler. Join me in welcoming Whitney Ballou.
All right, got a lot to follow up on here. So I'm Whitney. I would first like to start off by saying thank you to Jennifer Moran and the rest of St. James for letting me speak with you all today. I didn't get to make it last year, so it's absolutely beautiful and you all have done a wonderful job. For those who don't know, I attended St. James for 9 years, like Micah just said, and now this is a new building and it has different staff and Sister Michael Marie is not roaming the halls. This place still feels like home to me. Being able to share this tradition with my 2 children who are in preschool and first grade has been a dream come true. Like many families, my husband and I had some long discussions on where to send our kids when it came time to decide for my oldest going to kindergarten. We're blessed with some wonderful schools locally that made that a really tough decision. But it ultimately came down to a few areas where I felt SJS stood out above the rest. Being faith-based, having high regards for safety, and a sense of overall community respect were the 3 biggest reasons that we ended up here. St. James provided me with the obvious faith-based foundation that so many have already spoke of, and I still carry that with me today. Though we went to church every Sunday as a family, religion classes filled the gaps of my questions and enriched my knowledge on Catholicism. With our faith as the basis of everything that's taught within the school, core values of integrity, service, and respect allow for much deeper communication skills and relationships, which is something that is not to be taken for granted. In a world that many days can feel like pure chaos, sending my kids to a school with peace of mind is something that I never thought I would be thinking of, but I have never worried about that here. We, of course, have the best SRO and Officer Powell, but the fundraising and constant give back from the faculty, staff, and parents to ensure the physical safety of our children is appreciated on so many levels. It's not just about physical safety, but our children's mental safety as well. It's so important for our children to feel like they are in a safe environment, to be able to truly be their best self, speak their mind, and ensure that they have everything that they need to excel. And St. James provides just that. When I graduated from St. James and transitioned to Central Hardin, the teachers regularly commented about the expectations of students coming from SJS. Being held to a higher standard both in and out of the classroom only validates the success of what the school was and continues to be able to provide for the students who attend here. St. James provides a strict environment that allows students to adapt to more real-world, real-life experiences, like the stock market and everything else they just spoke of. While no child is left behind, there remains a standard for each grade level that prepares students for success in high school, college, and future careers. Everyone's journey is going to look a little different beyond the walls of this school, but I can say after 8 years of college that the studying, mentorships, and perseverance that I had developed were thanks in part to what began in my elementary and middle school years here. I am now over 8 years into a career in physical therapy that I am overly passionate about, but not one stepping stone to get me here has gone unturned. Being a full-time working mom is truly not for the faint of heart, but the teachers here have helped me to continue to juggle both by ensuring that my children are well taken care of in all areas so that I can continue to do what I love. I look forward to watching this school grow, and I'm so thankful for the community support and all of you all here in allowing that to happen. Thank you all.
Ms. Ballou, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. Sometimes I think we as students take take for granted all the opportunities offered to us here at St. James. It is inspiring to see you all have accomplished since your days at SJS. We can't let you leave today without hearing from our interim principal, Mr. Black. Please join me on stage and share a few remarks.
Thank you, Micah. Good morning, everybody. I'm Mr. Patrick Black. I'm the interim principal here at the school, and it's been an interesting journey for me. I came here about 3 years ago trying to be a substitute teacher. Things advanced a little bit over the last 3 years for that. We're so excited that you've come here to take the time out of your busy week. At St. James, we are centered on a vision for our students to become joyful disciples, lifelong learners, and virtuous citizens. We pursue these goals through a strong Catholic education, lasting relationships, and enriching experiences. These help our students grow in faith, knowledge, and character. Before I give the Master of Ceremonies back to the stage, I want to personally thank each and every one of you for coming here and making our vision a reality. Together, we're shaping the future of our students in truly meaningful ways. Thank you very much for coming today. Mr. Micah.
Thank you, Mr. Black. Many thanks to each of you for coming to our breakfast this morning. I really enjoyed being your MC today along with Avery. On behalf of my 8th grade class, please know how much we have enjoyed visiting with you today and would like to invite you back for another opportunity in the spring. My 8th grade classmates and I will be participating in mock interviews and would love to have you participate if you would like. If you are interested, please be sure to sign up with Miss Carney as you are leaving. She is located at the doors. Thank you again. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you all for being here with us today. Just one last thing before you go. We have raffle tickets for sale. $20 each for a chance to win $10,000. If you'd like to help support our school, Mrs. Fleck will have tickets available at the doors as you leave this morning. This concludes our program. I enjoyed sharing the role of your MC with Micah today. I hope you enjoyed your breakfast and being with us today. Thank you for attending.